Starting, like we're like literally like there we are. Starting, there we are. Like we're like literally like there we are. Starting, there we are. Like,
we are here. Is that?
Yeah, we are. Sorry, there was a little bit of an echo on my. I'm
Great
sorry.
intro.
There was like a little bit. There was a little bit of an echo on my end. I'm so sorry. That was like on my side.
Like production.
Anyways, guys, welcome back to another Smash Talk podcast. Of course, we have the usual subjects: Vance, Lux, myself, and Strides, and a very, very special guest being Sean Chiplock. We have him on here because we are coming up on MSM 200, not this week, so not tomorrow, but, well, if you're watching this on YouTube, it won't be tomorrow. It may have already actually passed, but next week is MSM 200, and Sean is actually one of the co-founders of said event, so we wanted to have him on for a special little podcast and interview with him.
I still have fond memories of the card shop where it all started.
Yes.
And that bathroom.
Especially the taco place that was 2 doors down that had amazing fruit smoothie.
Yeah, it's actually that taco place.
place.
Yeah, but some of you might know Sean from some of his many works. I think most of us know him from the recent Breath of the Wild Legend of Zelda game. He was actually 3 characters in that. He was Rivali, the Great Deku Tree, and Teba, another one of the bird people. And he's also just in a ton of anime. I think like one of his like major project.
The bird people are called Rito, by the way. Just letting you know, man.
I know that, but I just want to people. But yeah, he's been in ReZero as the protagonist.
Subaru Natsuki. Yeah.
Yeah, and many like games as well, like Persona 5. He's Mishima. You were in like Legend of
Trails of Cold Steel.
Trails of Cold Steel.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's in Mortal Kombat 11, dude.
So much more. Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
He's Noob Saibot. There you go.
Undeniable.
Fun fact: when I went to, I think it was SAC Anime, they had a Mortal Kombat 11 tournament, and I offered $200 if the person who won the tournament did so only playing as Noob Saibot. And a guy did win the tournament using Noob Saibot, but the funny thing was his main is not Noob. When I made the offer, he went Noob the entire tournament and still won, even though he doesn't play that character.
Dang.
Man, what a legend.
Goat.
Fundamentals.
Yeah, fundamentals.
So yeah, why don't we go ahead and get started? If anyone has any questions for Sean, be sure to shoot them in the chat. We'll get to them towards the end of the segment.
I thought you said if you had any questions for Sean, be sure to shoot them in the chat.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah, let's not do that.
Yes, let's get rid of Sean while we're at it.
We want you alive as well. So yeah.
Before ReZero Season 2? I don't know about that. Man.
Dang, son.
Damn, man, that contract looking nice, though, for ReZero Season 2.
All right, I'll start off with a question. So Mega Smash Monday is coming up on the 200th iteration. When you started this event series, could you imagine it was going to get to number 200? That's like, if it's a weekly at least, what, 4 years of weeklies?
The whole reason why it started was for really selfish reasons. And it was because back when MSM was a thing, weekday tournaments were not a thing. Everything was crammed between Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Are you saying no, that's the case, or no, that's not true?
No, that's the case. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
So, and I'm very happy. I'm happy that there were so many tournaments. It was a thriving community, but it was one of those cases like when you go to Anime Expo and you just have to make a choice on which panel you want to go to and miss 3 others as a result. So I was just tired of having to see people get split between 12 tournaments spread across 3 days, and I said, what if we set something on a weekday? We'd make it after the work period ends, so like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Yeah, sure, it's going to be late in the afternoon, but just something that people can look forward to going to without having to constantly ask other people, which one are you going to? Are you going to this tournament? Are you going to this other one? So that's why I want to start. I said, let's be the Monday tournament. Let's be the Monday SoCal tournament. People can choose to go, they can choose not to, but it'll be the one option. And that's where we took it from there. So, yeah, that's the most basic answer to that question. Is we just really wanted to have a tournament that wasn't automatically adding onto the pile that already existed. And I admit I'm surprised that it found success, but I guess I wasn't really hoping for it to succeed or worried about if it would succeed. I just wanted to have another opportunity for people to play Smash Brothers.
And that's truly amazing because it's like actually like the prime the prime hub for SoCal Smash players right now in like an environment where there are actually tons of tournaments, not just on the weekend, but actually every single day of the week there's more than one tournament. And also impressive that despite that, you know, one of the original tournaments that was around during the week didn't like fade out of existence. It actually just continued to like grow stronger and stronger.
Well, all of that I can't take any of that credit. I'll take credit for starting it, yes, but just speaking as someone who has, I'm assuming I have like adult ADHD, but I'm someone who has a very intensely burning flame, and they focus it on 1 or 3 things at a time. But that flame always changes. I'm always finding something else that catches my attention, and even if I didn't outwardly state it, I think I kind of always knew that there was going to be a point where either my career was going to grow or just nothing about MSM was going to change based on the fact that I was not going to do anything to change it, to grow it further. I was just content to host it every week at the same place. So any credit for it growing as big as it has gone, I have to give to Champ, to 2GG, because you know, it was just, it was inevitable. You know, a perfect example being when I joined Disney California Adventure. I worked there for all of my probationary period, 4 months, and then I left 2 weeks after my probation period ended.
Oh my god.
2 weeks after I got my ears, I said, sorry, I gotta go, and that was because of ReZero happening. So the same kind of stuff was happening with MSM, with Mega Smash Mondays, but Champ was somebody who both had the knowledge necessary to take it and make it into a business, make it into a grand development, and also the drive to put that time and commitment into it to make it that big. So yes, I am extremely happy that it has grown the way it has. I am grateful that he has continued to credit myself and Habib and himself as the founders of the tournament. But I truly think I don't want to say 100% of the credit should go to him, because I don't want to speak on behalf of Habib, but 0% of the credit for the tournament growing should go to me, because I helped start it, but it was absolutely 2GG that helped it develop the way that it has.
Wow, I think
For sure.
I think I have a question, but mine's like a little bit of a two-parter. I always remembered my memory with you is I remember I met you at the UGC final battle, which was by Lux right here from Clash Tournaments. It was by Clash Tournaments. I remember my funniest interaction with you was you were playing demo of Hatoyo Full Boyfriend on the PS Vita. And I remember it was the Pigeon dating simulator game. And I just remember you were cracking jokes left and right. I'm not going to say which jokes they were. We're just cracking jokes left and right. And then from then on, I just knew like, oh, that's Sonicmega, like that's who he is. And then later on, I ended up finding out like, oh yeah, Sonicmega started. I remember Rudafuda came up to me. He told me, yeah, Sonicmega, Habib, and Champ. They started a local on Monday called, you know, MSM. And you should totally check it out. And then that's how I found out about MSM. My question to you is like, how did you? I know you were explaining like the beginnings of it, but like, how did you, Habib, and Champ all meet in the first place? Because I actually don't even know how you're. Yeah, that's what I want to know.
My question as well.
Oh shoot!
Of course, Habib is the other like co-founder of the event. He was invited to be here today, but he had work at the last minute, so he was unable to join us.
It's the Mega Smash Monday cosmology right now.
It's funny you bring up that origin story, because I've never played Hato Full Boyfriend in my life.
Got him.
However, I was at UGC playing Criminal Girls.
It might have been that one. It might have been that one. I just remember you were playing. You were like, it was like a game that I heard that was coming out. It was on Vita. First of all, I was like, okay. First of all, this guy has a Vita. Oh my god, nobody plays the Vita.
I remember that.
Criminal Girls is a Japanese RPG where you lead this group of girl convicts around, and to unlock their skills, you have to spank them. So it's called Punishment Time, and it's a really solid game. It has great battle mechanics, but you also rub slime gel on girls.
It's got that lewd factor.
Yeah,
that sounds like a Japan only Vita game.
It's
as for how I met Habib, man, I feel so bad, because this feels like something I should remember, like my wife's anniversary. But
oh damn.
Oh, your wife's anniversary?
Yeah. I'm I'm a beta cuck. She's with somebody else, but I still celebrate the anniversary. I want to assume that Habib and Champ and I just met through going through tournaments. Like, when I think about the earliest times that I knew Champ, it probably had to be when he was TOing and I was volunteering, because I remember back when I did volunteer work for Paragon, which was really fun. But Habib is, just a case of someone that I would see at a lot of SoCal locals. So I know that probably what ended up us getting involved in the first place was back when, SoCal was creating a new crew every freaking week as far as Smash 4 was going.
I remember.
So SoCal crews could best be described as like, those videos of like 3 or 4 dogs all barking viciously at each other through a gate, and then the minute that the gate slides open, they all go their separate ways. That was SoCal crew battles. Nothing ever happened.
There was like maybe 3 crew battles that actually ended up happening.
Right. So we were a part of the crew Soul. We got together and created the group Soul, SOL, which also means shut out of luck, because that's how well we did at crew battles.
But I was on the crew for like 3 weeks before it disbanded.
So today I learned I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah,
I almost imagine that in the process of like interacting frequently through the crew chat, that at some point we got into talks about, having a tournament on a different day, and I'm certain that we went through Champ for actually organizing the tournament. But it was just bits and pieces, life tends to work that way, where sometimes when you try to go from thought, you end up at thought E, and you're like, how did I get here? And you go all the way back, reverse train of thought, and it will be very interesting how you jump from each piece to the next.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. I was gonna say it's pretty deep. I feel bad. I just stole Edmund's question. I was like, damn, dude, that was my question. I didn't even think of a proper question. Just straight up took Edmund's question.
No, I mean there's no stealing. You just asked my question, so my question was asked.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Take us back to the first Mega Smash Mondays, because I don't know if you've been to some of the latest ones, but it's all that it's not super bougie, but a little more bougie than the original.
And just to add
Mega
on to
Smash
that
Mondays.
real quick, for reference, those of you watching, MSM was started during Smash 4 days, and we're in Ultimate, and so I have a question. Is answer what Lux just told us, and then way back in the yonder times, in the year 2000, and whenever Smash 4 was gonna come out, 2014 BC, before Champ, God struck down a bush and set it aflame until the desert was a piping hot 215 degrees Fahrenheit. And he said, "That's the perfect temperature for a Smash tournament." That's history, by the way.
So he put about 2 TVs in, and he told his apostles to bring the rest, and he set up about 20 chairs. And he had yonder Smash tournament, and it was great. Jesus got the upset. It was fantastic. They thought he was done, but then he got the reverse 3 days later.
Damn it!
But
that was
good. That was great.
That was basically it. It was a tiny card shop that was 100 degrees inside. It had a nice taco place 2 doors down. It was very cramped, but everyone was enthusiastic, and it was a community effort. Like I brought my set. We usually had 2 or 3 setups brought ahead of time, and then how fast we went depending on how many other people brought setups.
It was hardly even like a shop. Like they had maybe like 1 glass counter with like scarce amount of cards. It was a literal hallway. It was a literal hallway with like a sign outside that was just like the most basic sign I'd ever seen.
The bathroom door
had 7/8 of a door.
The bathroom door faced to the cash register, so you could like debate and negotiate and buy products while you were shitting.
It's funny too, because like on my side of the spectrum, like coming from the 818, like we had Fire and Dice. So I just remember, like, to us, like people would talk about like MSM, and then we'd be like, oh, there's Fire and Dice. So I just remember, like, at the time, card shop venues were kind of getting popular. Like there was FD, there was Final Destination, the card shop where Master Mario kind of came from in general. And I just remember like card shops were just like the place to just have a local in general. I remember like we went from UGC, which was a really weird dubstep like venue that would just play obnoxiously in the background, to like Fire and Dice, and then we had the venue that was Gardena. The only thing I remember about MSM, because I never went to that MSM, was the stories that I would hear from the fact that the Jack in the Box has a bulletproof glass. That's all I remember hearing.
Ah, yes, I forgot. That was like the one quality that everyone like point out. We don't want to go to Gardena.
If anyone, when you said where Master Mario came from, bro, anytime I think of Master Mario, like when people, when it comes time for like Master Mario's autobiography, I'm gonna just tell people that Master Mario was like Hercules looking at the power rankings going, and I will lab Mario to be where I belong. Like, that man worked so hard.
And that's
he really did.
And you know, I don't want to like take away from like the subject here, but like I always tell people, you have to understand, Master Mario was the poor kid's power PR player, because he came from an era where people just shot him down like, this kid's a meme, he's nobody, he just says he wants to be good, he's not even Zen-worthy. And then I think he came to Fire and Dice, he got the upset on somebody, won Fire and Dice, and then from there he just started going. He started putting in work. He just nonstop. He even told me like I don't want to like, I want to have him on the show one day, but like he even told me, dude, like I became a part of the grind. I was no longer my name. That name superseded me. Now I am Master Mario. Like, but
Master Mario is the only Mario. Master Mario is the only Mario player who has landed more of his forward airs while people are standing on the stage than when they're in the air or off stage.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that
The
man
facts.
will dunk you where you stand.
that's facts.
That
That's
is
fact.
so funny. And man, I just want to say, like, just in the same way that, you know, we've come so far since the days of the card shop, the days of Gardena, like, and now, you know, we've gone through the era of esports arena, and now we're at this nice, comfy little hotel in La Mirada, and the game has also evolved a ton. I mean, you were SoCal's best Mega Man. For those of you at home that don't know, this was the Mega Man to beat. He was causing a lot of salt with people, man.
Is there a better Mega Man in SoCal now?
You know what's
Well, I
funny?
mean, that's what I'm about to ask you, because I wanted to ask you, what do you think about Ultimate? What do you think about Ultimate Mega Man? And do you still think you got the stuff?
So I will be upfront. I'm not even sure if I'm even like top 5 Mega Man players in the United States. Like, I have been so inactive on that news that I'm not going to make that claim. However, from talking with people in SoCal, I have not yet heard any news suggesting that there is a better Mega Man player on the West Coast. So I will, if I'm proven wrong, I will take down that moniker. But until it is proven wrong, I will continue to state that I'm the #1 Mega Man on the West Coast, which is pretty easy when there's only 3 Mega Man players, you know, in the world total. But
I hope Leo comes down to MSM.
That's what I was gonna say.
You
I hope
guys
he does.
can face off, because actually
yeah.
I remember it was like SoCal Chronicles. It was one of the first like big SoCal Smash tournaments for Ultimate that I played Leo in bracket, and you know, I didn't do that well because it was the first time I had seen a freaking Mega Man in Ultimate, and I was like, wow, Leaf Shield's really, really good. And yeah, I did the right things, shook his hand, said GG's, like, you're pretty good, like, and he was like, yeah, man, I think I'm better than Sonicmega. I was like, what the hell? I didn't even ask. Like,
I was gonna say.
Leo like compared himself to me.
Yeah.
Let's
dude,
go.
that's what I'm saying. People are gunning for you, dude.
It's
Money
actually
match.
it's
Even
actually
when you're not-
Well. I'll
Forever.
say one thing, and everyone here will understand the importance of this. Since Ultimate has come out, I use lemons. I use lemons. I don't just, I use them.
That's not the
I know how to
Sonicmega,
use
I know.
Leaf Shield
the
now.
funny thing too
Upgrade
is
the
like
game.
I remember like the moniker that you held was like, nobody could surpass Sonicmega at a certain point. Like nobody could get past a certain round that you could only do. Because I remember there was like I can't remember which of the sagas you had surpassed the point where like I think it was like you passed like round. You were like pretty much in like quarters or something. You were close to quarters.
Was it Hyrule Saga?
I think it was high. I think it was like that. And then I think everyone was just like, Jesus Christ, dude! No other Mega Man could just get
You know
past
what?
that.
Okay, the funniest part. I shouldn't have gotten that far because the last match that was going to get me out of pools was against a Roy player, okay? And I had somehow fucked up off stage. I don't remember what I did, but it was like I jumped off stage and instead of doing back air, I did down air or something like that. So I knew I was too low to recover, okay? So I use my up B, and Roy tries to punish me and gives me a win box back up to the stage. He saved me from losing my last stock, grabs the ledge, I correctly guess he's going to jump from the ledge, and I kill with the back air. His decision to try and punish me prevented him from getting through. Otherwise, it would have been guaranteed that I wouldn't have reached the ledge. And then after that is when I cleared through, like, who was the Robin player? Who's the well-known?
Shinta.
Yeah,
Shinta?
Not Shinta. The other well-known Robin player.
Oh,
From
from
cosplays
Florida?
as
From
Robin.
Florida?
Oh,
Yeah.
Death,
Dath?
right?
Maybe Dav.
I think it was
Three?
Dath.
The heck?
It's probably Dath. Dath is like the only
Wait.
one I know who was. Oh,
Mystery is the Japanese player.
there's
Anyway.
Dath.
Is that a Robin?
So-
Oh no
so-
Raven. It might have been Raven.
Raven. It was
Raven. Yeah,
from
Raven.
SoCal.
Yeah, so it was Raven, and I cleared through everyone up until I got to Waddy, and then Waddy just shat on me.
Dang. Okay, so that's a great.
Yeah, but
down memory
yeah,
lane.
M Leo right now is like doing
Considered
really
the
well.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Right now,
I would say he's like considered the best in SoCal right
I
now.
think there's, like-
active out of the active players.
Yeah.
I mean,
Actively,
you still
actively.
got the stuff. I'm sure.
Right, so I don't give him much credit because I'm inactive outside of Wi-Fi warrioring, but I'm prepared to hold my own against other SoCal or West Coast people if they want to try and take.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hopefully that
MSM
happens at
200, man.
MSM 200. And similarly, actually, I just want to take an opportunity to comment on something that was mentioned in the chat because they brought up the Japanese Mega Man player, and I believe it was MSM 100. You fought Kameme or Kamemushi at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was Scat.
On
it was
screen,
Scat.
right?
It was Scat. It was Scat. It
Or
was Scat.
It was Scat. Okay, I thought you might have fought Kamemushi.
No, I did get the first game, but then he 3-1'd me, so.
But you're competing.
Wait, no,
You're in that
was Scat
you're in
not
that neighborhood, in the
MSM
ballpark.
50?
In the
Scat was MSM 50.
Oh,
you
right,
played
okay.
Kameme at MSM 100.
Okay.
Right?
So what? So
am I not tripping?
so it might be MM Leo this time.
Sure. I'm pretty
My
sure we
memory is
had
garbage, so.
we had all of like the
You know, he
Each
wasn't
other.
worth remembering, you know.
Oh damn! I mean, you know what's funny too in general too is like every time we get a Mega Man main just in general, they always end up retiring like pretty soon. Like that's actually a hilarious thing. Like we did have Scat, but then he said, "Oh, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna focus on school more. Right? I'm gonna do all this." We had Kameme, and then Kameme, he still has Mega Man. He's the only Mega Man left.
You know what explain and I remember seeing
I was gonna say Yeti, but
Yeah.
Really good.
Scott Falco posted a video, something with a side of Smash, where he talked about Mega Man. And then after I watched his video, I completely understood why I can only main Mega Man and why I can't play anybody else as effectively. And he says, any other fighter in Smash Brothers, pretty much anybody else, is a Smash fighter. But when you play as Mega Man, you're playing a Mega Man game, and you're fighting against a boss. So you're trying to play against patterns. And that's the difference, is all the other characters are physical fighters. Even if they're ranged, they have moves that they're trying to combo into each other. Mega Man isn't very combo focused. He's just, you look for openings and you punish. And that's so true. As a Mega Man player, most of the time, I'm throwing shit out just to hope that you run into it, not because I'm trying to set something up. When you play Mega Man 6, you're not like trying to like hit the boss and combo them. You're shooting your pellets and hoping they get hit while also dodging their attacks.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm trying to hit them while not getting hit. I'm not setting anything up.
Yeah.
So-
That's what I learned. I remember in Smash 4,
say that
like,
about Mega Man.
yeah, it's true, and it is true because I remember playing Smash 4, and I just remember being like, dude, the Mega Man plays like he does in his own game. Like you're eventually trying to learn your opponent's pattern, like you would a Mega Man boss. Because if you do not learn your opponent's pattern, you are screwed. Like this will be the worst matchup of your life unless you understand your opponent's pattern and maybe you like dodge a couple of their items rather than like projectiles. But that's how I felt about Mega Man. I mean, go on.
Speaking of Mega Man games, so actually I have a question for you. And before I ask this question, reminder, if anyone else in the chat has any question for Sean, be sure to drop it in the chat and we'll get to asking him. But my question is, we know where the Mega comes from in Sonic Mega, but what's the Sonic?
All right, this is both the lamest and the coolest origin story you will ever hear. No, it is so stupidly simple why it is what it is, but it's hilarious why it is what it is. Okay, so I was 12 years old and I wanted to make an account on the IGN forums. You needed to be 13 to make an account, but I lied. So I had to come up with a username, and I went, now listen, you're talking to someone who named so many of his plush animals Sean that his mom forced him to name a plush animal something else besides Sean. Naming things is not my specialty, okay? So I went, I need to come up with a username. So I went, I'm gonna take the names of my two favorite video game characters of my childhood, Sonic the Hedgehog and Mega Man, smash them together into Sonic Mega and make that my username. Oh, it's available. Cool, I'll go with it. I did not process at the time how lucky I was to manage to get a username that wasn't like small x, big X, small x underscore Goku Roth 777 underscore tilde, you know, with all those weird numbers and shit.
the Xbox 360 days. Where you
right, exactly. So I took it. And the one thing I remember the most is this was back in the days when everyone liked to put like signature picks, you know, like back in the Newgrounds era.
Oh
and
my god.
My signature pick was this giant ass picture of Super Sonic, and you know why? It was to tell the other forum people that I'm invulnerable to flaming and trolling.
Oh my god.
That's godlike.
Guess what? Guess what? It didn't fucking work.
What a surprise.
Oh my god.
So to this day,
that probably was a flame magnet, dude. They were
I was gonna say like, oh, it's time to go in on this guy.
It's just
so
amazing that Sonic Mega wasn't taken.
To this day, I know, to this day, the only website that I have signed up for, there's only one of two cases where I have not had pure Sonic Mega as the username. If I forgot my password to the old account and I had to make a new one, and because the old account was tied to like my AOL email, which I can't access anymore, or there is a German Spotify ripoff site where someone has the user account of Sonic Mega. So whoever you are, I hope you're not doing anything bad or Nazi-ish, because I would feel terrible if you were tying that to my name.
Breaking news out of Germany.
Sonic Mega.
Sonic Mega's voice actor has been caught up in a copyright scandal ring.
Copyright, dude, that's the worst. That's the worst one. The copyright scandal.
Oh my god.
So my question to you is like, how does it feel to go? I mean, where did the voice acting start? I mean, you caught voice acting is I think it's a really cool gig. I hear about it a lot all the time. But like we talked about some of your like you're so fortunate and I'm fortunate enough that like I googled your name on like Google and you're the first thing that appears, and it's like sure as heck it's Sean Chiplock, you know, on the IMDb page with a great resume. Like you've done one of my personal favorite animals, Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphans. You've done One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, just to name a few there. You've done you're
done a lot of
like you're the main character in you've done.
You know what's really funny is my anime portfolio is like barren compared to my colleagues. My video game portfolio is much bigger for the work that I've done. So I just find it funny when it's just funny to me that a lot of people know me from anime when like I don't think I've booked recurring roles. Like, sure, like my guy returns in One Punch Man, and so I get to come in for new stuff, but I don't think I've booked a new anime role in like 2 years.
Oh man.
So Because ReZero was 2017. So
Yeah, that's true.
So oh shit. So is that when is that coming out? I haven't seen the anime at all. But like,
when
are
is
you-
ReZero coming out?
yeah, ReZero
Whoa.
2. I don't know, man.
Oh,
I was
season
like,
2.
what? I was like, what?
Season 2,
They
season
came
2.
out, like,
I don't
negative a couple years
I don't
ago.
even
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure.
yeah I don't even
Fuck
watch
it.
ReZero.
Barely
So,
just
anyway,
announced that
your
season 2
question-
didn't happen.
So my question is like, how did you catch it? Like, how did it all start? Where did it go from there? Like, how does it feel? This voice
Well-
actor story, I would say.
The voice acting started well before Smash. Like I've been with Smash since the original N64 days. Like I remember renting Smash 64 before I owned it and beating Master Hand on very hard as Mario. And when I landed the final blow, the game froze. Like the TV did that with like the still image. It's like motherfucker. But so voice acting had started well before Smash tournament stuff happened, and that was because I discovered my love for voiceover during my junior year of high school. I don't remember perfectly, but I went into college already wanting to take classes and do extracurriculars and side stuff or freelance work that would help further my voice acting career. Around the time I was dabbling a little bit on Anther's Ladder for like competitive using Lucas and Brawl, but it wasn't anything serious. But I was still keeping active, so I kind of got involved in Brawl competitively right near the end of its competitive lifespan. And I know people are like, "Oh, there's still a competitive scene for Brawl." No, there's not. Don't kid yourself. There's a competitive scene for Ice Climbers and Snake, but that's about it. But I knew. So I knew that I was like, okay, so I got in right at the tail end of Brawl, but when they announced Smash 4, I was like, this is when I'm gonna jump in, like I did with Maple Story when they announced a new Dragon Tamer class. That was the class I said day one, I'm going 100% in, all in on it. So when they announced Smash 4, I said I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna train up Lucas. I'm gonna figure out, maybe there's another character I can run, and then came
Fire Nation attacked.
and then came trailer day for Mega Man. And the day that I saw the trailer for Mega Man, I said, I don't care if he sucks. I'm going to make him seem like he's good.
One more. I want to add to that because I remember you were at the Invitational, and I remember there's actually a static image. It was a GIF where you're holding Mega Man in the thing, and you're like rubbing it, and that became like the popular GIF for like a long time.
I saw that before I ever met you.
Yeah, same. That's how I knew about you.
You mean this one?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe.
You should share.
You
it.
should share. Yeah, you should share.
Oh no.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
I meant you, Vance. I'm sure you could pull it up.
Yeah, no, they can see it. They can see it. They can see it.
Well, yeah, but you could have given him a nice high quality one.
Let
Dude,
me
he
see.
had that on. He had that on deck, dude. He was like, "You mean this one?"
It's actually a standard reaction gift to like any situation. He's got it ready, queued up whenever he needs it.
You need that gift.
Oh,
we lost
you're
him.
so, yeah, we lost
Your
his
audio.
name.
Sorry, because I didn't press control. So the funniest thing is, right before I did that, because I've been doing stuff like that for a while. I've been cheering, I've been waving it, I've been pointing to it, like Mega Man. And then right before I did that, the friend who was sitting next to me goes, "Bruh, just give it up. Like, there's so many people here. No one is going to spot you." Like, he wasn't mad at me. He was just being realistic about the situation. Like, these cameras are panning over entire audiences. There's no way no one's going to notice you. And I just kept going anyway because I was having fun. Sure enough, in the subreddit, someone goes, "Yo, shout outs to the Mega Man guy showing how all of us felt about Mega Man being in the game."
Yeah.
For real.
So the friend was actually sitting to my right, but you can't see him because when I started doing that, he ducked his head down so that no one could see him. I don't know if it was out of embarrassment or like because he didn't want to be seen with me or what, but he's there, but you can't see him because he's completely hunched over. Oh my god. But yeah, so now I'm immortalized. I am Mega Man. I'm enthusiastic Mega Man man.
And man, it paid off because you ended up being the Mega Man for SoCal and for a lot of people. So I just want to say thanks for that. And before we pivot over to our next topic, we're gonna take a short break before that. But I did have one question from Twitter. And just a reminder, we'll if you have any questions, shoot them in the chat, and we'll sprinkle them in throughout the cast. But I had one request, which was, would it be possible to hear you confess your love for Felix instead of Emilia as Subaru?
What do you mean possible? I've been doing that ever since like the show came
Oh
out.
my god.
Felix is best girl. Like there's no debate about this.
But you gotta do it
God.
in the voice. You gotta do it in the voice.
All right, let him get in character.
Fan service time.
Yo, I gotta prepare myself for this.
Ren, I love Felix.
Oh my gosh. Chills. All right. So there you have it. That was the Marisa's
Oh,
request.
no.
I'm going to call her out. But thank you so much for that. And yeah, we're going to take a short break and then we're going to come back and talk about some of the recent dramas that have happened.
Oh, drama.
Oh,
alert.
oh wait, I just
Drama alert.
I
All
just-
right, Keith,
wait,
chill out.
before we switch, I just want Sean to explain. Like, I guess I kind of cut in a little bit, or maybe I might have missed it. What was your first voice acting gig, and then like, and how was that like?
I don't know if I can talk about that on this.
Oh damn.
Oh,
Okay.
Just web
I'll
series.
tell you-
It was a web
I'll-
series.
I'll tell you guys the first paid job that I did.
Okay.
Later.
Okay.
But I remember, I think one of the first gigs I did that paid like $15 was I did like this being tickled skeleton for like a Halloween, like it was some weird Halloween app or something, and it was like if you poked the skeleton, he told terrible jokes and like jumped around and did stuff. I remember I got paid to do knockoff noises of like popular video game characters, like popular video game creatures for like a phone charging company. And then there was also like a strategic mobile game that a friend of mine worked on that he hired me. It was kind of like a Roman era, Greek era strategic battle game, and I got to voice one of the commanders. So it was pretty small stuff. I doubt anyone would be able to find it nowadays. I would say the first gig that I did that was notable, like people actually watched or played or did something with it, would have been Diabell and Sword Art Online. So that's the one that everyone brings up when they say, oh, Chiplock has actually done something that's hit mainstream.
Okay. I can't remember that character. I'm
I
looking.
still,
Oh,
like-
I see him. He's like the first guy who he's like the guy who dies actually in the middle of that first boss raid they fight. Yeah, I remember.
I mean, it fits because one of my biggest inspirations was Strong Bad and his anime character, whoa, Stickly Man, what are you doing? And Strong Bad says, he's like, I'm gonna give him blue hair, because you gotta have blue hair. So of course, the first anime character I voice has blue hair.
Nice.
Nice. I actually didn't even know that was you. Honestly, I just like it's.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
I did because I'm a Shiplock fan. I stalked him.
Chiplock.
But yeah, I think we're gonna cut to a short break, and then we're gonna come back and talk about safety at tournaments and
how important they are.
Yes, yeah. There was a bit of some concerns that arose after this weekend's tournament, Defend the North. So we're gonna talk about that after these few short slides. So don't go anywhere too far, and we'll be right back.